This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with a dedicated row of solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The Advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed. You get injured, the Advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
All right, we made it to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, as usual. We head to the drink desk and Steve Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. First, on a really quick text, humble D-brag from Mike.
I know.
Don't quote me on it. I just
Don't backtrack now,
well,
Big
hell,
D.
okay.
Look at me.
He's hung better than Captain America.
I didn't say better. I said I was on par.
All right. He's on par with Captain America.
I don't remember. I didn't take a good look.
How many Captain Americas movies have there been?
2 individuals, and then he's been in a bunch of the, Avengers flicks.
No, he was technically Civil War, so I'll go 3.
Okay.
All right. Well, they're coming out with a new one. Soundtracks by Garth Brooks.
Oh, Jesus.
Today, we toast a man identified only as 30-year-old Chandu from somewhere in India. Like Romeo and Juliet, Chandu was part of a forbidden love. For the last few years, he's been in a relationship with his true love. However, because of tradition, namely arranged marriages, they can't be together. Well, that's when they made a pact. If they couldn't live together, they would die together, Miles. The plan was to plunge into the Yamuna River, and as planned, they met on a bridge as the river flowed below them. The woman jumped in first. And then Chandu had second thoughts and decided not to follow
I'm not
her.
doing this.
Here's the thing. Realizing what was happening, the woman swam back to shore. She's real pissed off, and she now has a lawsuit against Chandu.
We're supposed to die together. I'm going to sue your ass.
Right. We're both going to jump in this river. We're going to die together if we can't be together. And she pops her head out of the water. He's like, I don't think I want to do that. Her ass swam to the bank. When cops got her, took her to the hospital, and she's like, I'm suing that son of a bitch. And he's also now under investigation for attempted murder.
Well, I mean, he didn't push her.
No, he did not push her, but it's just the way Indian laws work out, man. You both agreed you were going to die. You basically I don't know that he duped her as opposed to getting cold feet for all the obvious reasons, but like at that point, it's attempted murder. So yeah, next time just take the plunge, brother, and then both swim out. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the whole habichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Drevik. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
All right, Drevik, you understand how this here game is played?
I do.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of 3 stories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
I think I got to go with interior decorating.
right, here's the story. I shared this story with VD at the beginning of the week, and both of us stood there with our mouths hanging open. But here's the story. A group of 3, they wanted to make a film which recreated an old Russian tale of a poor woman who had to smuggle food under her dress in order to feed her family. Just so you know, this took place in Russia. Now, the filmmakers then found the closest grocery store and prepared for the smuggling. And a woman successfully accomplished her mission. But what we learned from the little film is that it is possible to smuggle a certain food item inside of a woman's vagina. Although I'm not sure you'd want to eat it afterward. And also that Russians are truly messed up. So keep in mind, they went in to film this little scene, and the idea is you're going to smuggle it under your dress. She just put the whole thing directly into her vagina. All right? And we saw the still pictures of this. It is unbelievable. Anyway, we didn't see the film, but they had a few stills from it, and we're looking at this like, Jesus Christ, man. So the question is, what food item did this woman smuggle out of the grocery store via her front butt? Was it a can of soup, a whole frozen chicken, a tube of crescent rolls, or a jar of peanut butter? So can of soup, a whole frozen chicken, a tube of crescent rolls, or a jar of peanut butter?
Ooh.
Yeah, and they fortunately or unfortunately provided video evidence of this.
That's a hard one.
Is it? I think it's fairly obvious.
What do you got, Ted?
It's a chicken.
What do you got, Ted? Yeah.
Chicken.
I'm with Ted.
She put a whole chicken up there.
She put a whole frozen chicken up there.
Yes.
That's exactly what
I
happened.
don't want it to be a chicken.
You do. Let's do chicken. Let's all go in.
Come on, chicken,
3
man.
chickens.
Say it.
Let's do it.
Chicken.
All right, we're going to find out. Was it a can of soup, a frozen chicken, a tube of crescent rolls, or a jar of peanut butter next?
Whoops.
That was a tease.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories interior decorating on profile. This group of 3 guys, I guess they're making a movie.
2 men, 1 woman.
And they were going to recreate a story of a woman who smuggled food inside her vagina.
Yeah, I guess it's some old Russian tale, and it was about a woman who was so poor she had to smuggle food under her dress.
So they're not like the old woman who lived in a shoe.
No. That lady did fine.
The woman who smuggled food in her vagina.
No, just under her dress. They decided to kick it up a notch.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go can of soup, frozen chicken, tube of crescent rolls, or jar of peanut butter. See who wins.
Those were the options. And now, Drevik, you ended up going chicken because you were coerced by the Ted Smith specifically.
Chicken.
But the Ted Smith and Miles Montgomery.
Well, I'm just thinking if we can get the duck in there, then she's a her ducking, right?
Yeah, her ducking. I like it.
Her ducking.
So was it a chicken?
Oh, it wasn't?
No, it was.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All in on the chicken.
So I'm showing this to DD. And I print this thing up, and it's another one of those things where this is what I do at work. This is true, all right? So I use the lobby printer for anything that I print off here at work. And because of Profile This, there's a lot of untoward stories, if you will, that pop up. I try to leave them there for about an hour or so. Knowing that other people that work here, as they're looking for this stuff, they always seem amazed at some of the headlines that come up. And this one was huge. So took an entire frozen chicken and put it in her vagina. And they did this in the grocery store. All right, so even when you look at this
whole chicken.
Old frozen chicken. So while they're filming this, you see normal grocery store people in the background who do look a little shocked. But this woman, she stuffed it in her vagina, but not the entire thing. One chicken leg was hanging out. It is such a disturbing picture. But she got that whole goddamn thing in there, man.
I saw something like that in Cuba back in 71.
But I paid good money for that.
Now for all TV news all time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
It's called a drumstick. Debbie.
That's the only part of the chicken you'd want to eat. There's one leg hanging out the front. You're like, oh my God.
These wings taste
And
funny.
then think about that. We had a quick side discussion. You're going to have sex with her later, but you have to bathe. I don't want salmonella.
Fair.
Right?
All right, your choice is Seth Meyers. You have to shower out with salmonella.
How'd you get salmonella? Did you eat raw chicken?
The Jimmys.
Fallon Kimmel.
James Corden.
Oh.
Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title. These guys have teams of talented writers that help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Mick Jagger announced he tested positive for the coronavirus, and Keith Richards announced that's the only thing he's tested negative for.
Fallon.
Yeah, Fallon.
Myers.
Mick Jagger announced he tested positive for the coronavirus, and Keith Richards announced that's the only thing he's tested negative for.
A new study found that staring at yourself during Zoom calls can put you in a bad mood. You know what else about Zoom calls puts you in a bad mood? Being on a Zoom call.
That's right.
Yeah, that's you.
It's Jim Fallon.
A new study found that staring at yourself during Zoom calls can put you in a bad mood. You know what else about Zoom calls put you in a bad mood? Being on Zoom calls.
Massive floodwaters ravaged Yellowstone National Park and nearby communities on Monday, washing out roads and bridges, cutting off electricity, and it's so bad they even lost Kevin Costner. Yeah, he floated away.
But he filmed Waterworld.
Good thing.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about, guys. I made a movie about this.
I saw that in theaters. Since stocks are down, I saw that CNN are suggesting investing in baseball cards. Apparently, their chief financial analyst is a 10-year-old from 1986. Fallon. Yeah, Fallon. That's Fallon.
Since stocks are all down, I saw that CNN suggested investing in baseball cards. Did you hear this? Yeah, I guess their chief financial strategist is a 10-year-old from 1986.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi over the weekend appeared on an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. Either that, or she didn't, and that person should win.
Yeah, I guess so.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi over the weekend appeared on an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. Either that, or she didn't, and that person should win.
Damn. That would have me died earlier in my test. I was like, man, all right.
That's rude.
All right, so we talked about Squid Game a little bit yesterday, right? Mike and I watched it. Like, again, it is so weird. I would watch it dubbed. I watched it dubbed over, but you got to see it.
I will see it. That's one of my summer projects, if you will.
Now, part of it is they're competing for all this money and everything, but there can only be one winner, and people die.
Right. So basically, if you're not the winner, you're dead, right? Is my understanding?
Yes.
Like, you're not just asked to leave. Like, if you don't win, you are dead.
I mean, it's aggressive. Like, you've seen that giant doll?
Yeah.
It's just they're playing like child's games, like red light, green light, right? Or go or whatever. But like, yeah, if you move when it says stop, you get shot.
And that really is what the game is that if you're alive, you move on to the next round. If you're only eliminated if you're dead.
Okay, all right.
And if you fail the game, then they go ahead and just take care of that part.
Damn.
Right. And there is a point in like one of the episodes where it's like and they're like, hey, look, if you guys all want to stop, nobody wins the money. And every time somebody dies, you get more money into the thing.
Ah, okay.
But they're like, if you guys all want to stop, we'll just stop it now. But that didn't happen.
Money.
So either way, if you watch Squid Game, like I agree with this. I never thought, man, I wish they do that in real life. But Netflix is creating a real-life Squid Game competition. They're hyping it as the biggest reality competition ever.
Will they actually kill people?
What do? Lose a finger?
All right, so this one's called Squid Game The Challenge. It'll have 456 players competing in a series of games for a chance to win $4.56 million.
Okay.
The numbers are notables. There was 456 players in the show. The total prize in South Korean currency was 45.6 billion won, which is 38 million.
Okay, damn.
Now, here's my question I've been thinking about all day. Do you think, obviously this would be horrible, and you wouldn't do it, but if they said, hey, look, for real, we're doing Squid Game, do you think people would sign up?
Yeah.
Even with the chance, the likelihood of death?
Yes.
At this day and age, yes.
I absolutely do, yeah.
Yeah, I think they would too.
I have no doubt about it. You probably get exactly that number of people to do it as well.
And you'd be happy that a lot of these people weren't on the planet anymore.
Yeah, I know. Like, cool.
You think this is okay? Okay, good. I hope you're gone.
Yeah, well, that's kind of part of the show, too, right? Like, people are either kind of down on their luck and need money bad, or they just are criminals. Right, so when they get into the game, like, a lot of that comes out. You're like, these are not the greatest people. No. God, I know. I was listening to it earlier today.
Is this the theme song, I'm guessing?
Yeah, this is like when some of the people that run it, right? Like the soldiers, like you hear this, and then it's like they're like walking in, and then you got to go in and find the game. It's weird, as I like that show, but even hearing the song kind of scares me.
It should make this your alarm in the morning.
Oh, that'd be creepy.
Will get out of bed.
Yeah, hopefully.
Or just hide under the cover.
Right, just hide. Where's Ted? He's still in bed hiding.
He's running late. His alarm won't turn off.
Yeah, he's got that Squid Game alarm. It's very weird. Played a Squid Game in a while. All right. Amber Heard, she's still in the news.
Oh, my God.
So at one point, Savannah Guthrie, she asked Amber Heard, quote, in his closing arguments, Johnny's lawyer called your testimony a performance of a lifetime and said you were acting. What do you say to that? Now, she's gotten heat for it, but I like this response. She said, says the lawyer for the man who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers. Or scissors for fingers. But I'm the performer? I mean, she's making a good point. Like, Johnny Depp's had some odd roles.
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't convince people that he really had scissors for hands.
Did you see the film?
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was convinced.
I thought for sure.
No,
where did you find an actor who has scissors for hands? I'd be damned. He was born to play this role.
Actually, I don't remember. I'd have to go back and watch that movie. I remember seeing the previews for it somewhere else, and it just seemed so strange.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those.
It was a Tim Burton movie, man. Yeah.
It was Beetlejuice, all that stuff is weird. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Beetlejuice we definitely saw in the theater, though.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought that was like kind of crazy and funny.
You realize he had 12 minutes of screen time? Something like that.
Who?
Beetlejuice himself.
Oh, in that movie.
When you think back to the movie, you only really think about the scenes that involve him because he made them interesting. But I read somewhere, he had like 12 minutes of screen time. That was it.
Yeah, Beetlejuice is one of those ones, too. I remember sometimes we'd go to a movie theater in College Park that was like once movies kind of had their run.
Yeah, that second, what do they call it? Second showing, something like that.
Right, and it was like cheaper.
Just like $3.
Right. But my dad would always take us on Saturday evening, and it's like, there's college kids, there's people from the neighborhoods. Like, I remember we went to Beetlejuice, and it was, I almost feel like we left because there was so much yelling and screaming. Like, every time Beetlejuice showed up, people were like, oh! Obviously, like I said yesterday, when you're talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, like, they're both actors.
Yeah.
So, obviously they can act a lot, and they can...
I think there's, whether you were, whatever team you're on that one, who cares? But... who's right, who's wrong. But sometimes after something, you just got to like, Chris Rock never really said anything. Will Smith never really said anything. Like, you don't just go schedule an interview like right after some crap goes down. You just got to go like, we need to let this blow over.
But hers is different, right? Like, Chris Rock really doesn't have to say anything because we all saw him.
Right. There's no question about what happened or what led up to it.
Right.
Like, the man's hit me.
I just think once you get involved in that kind of public display of discourse, it's maybe a good idea just to take a step back. And it's not that you're never going to talk about it.
Yeah, but she's an idiot. And I don't say that because I side with her or Johnny Depp. I don't care. It's their personal life. I'm just saying her as a human being, she's just that type of person. Mm-hmm. And Savannah Guthrie, Jesus, man. Can you breathe when you talk? She's wrong. I can't explain it. You know, people that talk like that. But she's just one of those people. And I'm like, I cannot believe. It's just a very prominent job on a very prominent show on a very prominent network. And even when she seems nice enough. But even when they do little hits, they join us tomorrow. Good morning, man. Just like, God!
I read a whole thing about the California accent.
And I don't know where she's from.
Right.
But it's like, breathe! God damn it.
So.
It is. It's like,
I just always forget how famous those morning show people are. Because I just don't watch the national ones.
Yeah, we don't. But
right, like I'll watch some sports stuff in the morning or like a local kind of show. But yeah, I always forget, like, oh yeah, Savannah Guthrie is a massive
she's huge
journalist and TV personality.
And I can't, it's like it says, not her personality. It's not, as soon as I hear her voice, I'm like, please breathe through your goddamn nose. Dude, I cannot listen to this. This is like being stuck talking to someone on a plane who you don't feel like talking to.
Yeah. I just think she sounds like a country singer.
A little bit, but at least with the country singer, I'm
just name alone.
Oh, God, Savannah Guthrie?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Or a porn star. And she's neither, damn it.
Right. She's a journalist. All right, so Kristen Stewart, she's producing a new ghost hunting reality show. They're looking for cast members. But there's one important requirement. You got to be super gay.
Okay.
Right. She says this will be, quote, the most gayest, most funniest, most titillating queer ghost hunting show ever. Which, again...
Which competes with, of course, we all know the main one. The gay ghost hunting show.
Now, who are you competing with?
The mostest, you really sure going to top that other one? Dang. Way to go.
Yeah. Well, the way she says that, too, I can't tell if she wants gay people on the show or if the ghosts are queer. The most gayest, most funniest, most titillating queer ghost hunting show ever.
So what happens then, right? You know, ghost shows, like, there's definitive proof that ghosts exist. And they're like, are you gay or straight? I was a straight. Get off of our TV screen.
Right, get out of this house.
Get the hell out of here. Goddamn straight ass ghost. Kiss my ass. It's not what this show's about. My bad.
Right. My apologies.
Boom.
Right. I'll go back under your bed now.
I'll just keep staring at your children from the closet.
I'll continue to terrorize your family as long as you live here. I won't do that. She wants to...
I'm not into that stuff.
She wants to find the most incredible LGBTQ ghost hunters, paranormal specialists, mediums, psychics, investigators who will lead the pack on this super gay ghost hunting adventure.
I guess.
I don't know. I almost feel weird. I mean, it's about her show, but I don't know. It feels weird saying super gay this much.
Well, I just feel like, people that
I feel like I'm insulting somebody. Like, no, that's what they're looking for.
I'm just regular gay.
Do you think that super. The gay audience does not watch ghost hunting shows like, oh, I'm really into the paranormal, but too many straight people.
Are the ghosts gay?
That's what I was saying earlier.
Do the ghosts care what your sexual orientation is? Or
you might find out. Get out of my house, you're gay. Like, damn.
Holy
damn, man.
Come on.
That's a hate ghost. Come on. Casper, the hate crime ghost.
Right. I'm a friendly ghost, but if you're gay, I hate you.
I mean, it's a sexist, racist piece of crap. I'm glad he's dead.
Right. Glad you're dead, Casper.
It's been a rough weekend here for Casper. Right, now he's not the unfriendly ghost. Now he's the
He's a homophobe?
He's a homophobe.
Casper, the homophobic ghost.
What's wrong with you, dude? To each their own. What are you into?
All right.
Anybody's with you is a pedophile ghost.
Waiting for you to yawn.
You're like a 5-year-old ghost.
Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals is off tonight. You got the Avalanche hosting the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Who's supposed to win, Ted?
I mean, to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. Tampa Bay's won 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Colorado's really good, though. Look, I don't know. I said earlier today I should do some research so I could make a pick.
Colorado has already put one in.
Have they?
Yeah, 4 minutes to go, so it's 1-0. So maybe it'll be hey, I'll tell you one thing about the NHL Finals, East or West. A lot of goals. Those guys
yeah.
So at least there'll be some scoring, hopefully.
Yeah, and I'm with you, right? Whenever you get to, like, baseball or this time of year with basketball and hockey, I'm like, just make it go 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, make it fun. Make it fun. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A bear rips into a family's tent to eat some dog food and gets put in permanent hibernation timeout. Meanwhile, a 4-year-old, he won't have any baby batter produced by his little tiny bound spout. Woman wakes up to open casket at a funeral home and drops a large loogie. One Florida man jumps on jet ski and heads to Cuba in an attempt to boogie. And 25 people attempt to walk on hot coals. Attempt. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cop.
Top story, we got to Texas where a woman was arrested for a lack of decorum. Officers obtained a warrant for her arrest after she walked into a funeral home during a viewing, up to the casket with the deceased inside, and spat on the corpse. Witnesses said that she did have some issues with the family.
Kidding.
She was arrested for abuse of a corpse and posted bond the next day.
I don't know her, but I know that she has beef with whoever died. When you roll into a funeral home and spit on the corpse of someone.
Okay, but somehow that makes it better if she was just a nut that it was just like, you know what, screw it. I want to go in there and spit on a corpse. At least we know that that's Bethany, and Bethany sucks. We don't want her here anyway. Of course, she would spit on the corpse.
Damn, that's a lot of hate, man.
That is really just
like they're already dead. What else do you need?
It's not like they're gonna feel it. This is a shame to the family, not the corpse, man.
Yeah.
My goodness gracious.
That's amazing. Yeah. I can't imagine being at a family member's funeral, somebody spit on the corpse.
Right.
I cannot imagine how I'd react, I think.
Right.
Actually, I can. I can imagine exactly how I'd react. Yeah.
It would not be rational if it was...
no, there's no way. Look, there's a lot of things you might be cool about, things you can deal with. You spit on the corpse of a family member at a funeral, like, all that's gone.
Right.
It just is.
Yeah.
Unless I don't like him either.
We have officially crossed a line and doors have been closed. It is on.
Well, generally, spitting takes things to a whole nother level.
It does. Yeah, there's no real coming back from that.
No.
In other news, to Florida, where officers spent 4 hours chasing a man to end up catching him in a puddle of mud. Officers got the call at 4 in the morning after the man had stolen a vehicle at gunpoint. They eventually tracked him down in the vehicle, and he took off on foot, leading officers on a 4-hour chase, ending when one officer tackled him into the muddy bog. The officer sustained minor injuries in the incident, and the man was arrested, all because he wanted to steal, at gunpoint, a street sweeper.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not going to lie.
Maybe he lives on a really dirty street.
Right.
I've had it. How fast do those go?
I'm sure they actually do go plenty fast.
Right, but it's still just based on the sheer size and weight. Like, you're still not going to outrun anything.
No, not a police cruiser or nothing like that.
No.
I doubt you even know how to operate the doggone thing, man. Like, but still.
Is there any irony that he stole a street sweeper just to end up in the mud?
There's a lot of irony.
Yeah,
to that,
I didn't think about that part.
I don't think they go over mud, but still, it is ironic that he got dirty after he was in a clean vehicle.
Puddle of mud.
Bam.
The story's a little blurry.
My man.
Well done.
My man.
Rumor got puddle of mud jokes, that's right.
Rumor has it that she hates him. We head to Switzerland where a company wanted to do a little team building exercise. I love this story. They decided to take their employees to a location that specializes in such an event in the form of fire walking, or walking over a bed of hot coals for those not familiar. The employees took part in the event, coming together as a team to overcome the blistering heat of the coals, and also working together to load the 25 people into the ambulance after they needed to be taken to the hospital.
This is like extreme life coach crap.
This is
the company that hires a life coach.
Right. Like,
what are you really?
Why did you do it?
This feels like something out of The Office.
Right, it's such a bad idea.
They pay you to talk to us,
and it's so stupid. Just the idea of like, hey man, we're doing team building. All right, cool, whatever. Man.
Sure,
we're gonna walk over hot coals. No offense, sir. No.
At this point, I'm not a member of the team.
No, I bet you my team will be bigger than yours. Everyone who doesn't want to walk across hot coals, come over here, and the people that do, go kiss the boss's ass.
Look
I can
at
tell
me,
you right
boss.
now.
I'm building the team over.
I've always wanted to do one where like it's a trust fall. You let that dude fall and then go, I don't trust you.
Yeah. Don't trust anybody. Now you've learned.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember how I trusted you and you did me wrong?
Yeah. Oh, you're supposed to trust me.
Oh.
My bad. They didn't verify.
I thought that this...
Sorry about your tailbone, dog.
I thought this was that comeuppance.
But look how happy the team is that I dropped you. We're building something here, man. Mike, it's bringing them together. They're coming together.
Look at the camaraderie here.
Oh, yeah.
We'll work together not to catch your dumb ass.
Right. We all agreed to not catch you.
Yeah, whoever this is trying to get up and Thrill's like, stay down.
Team building.
No, man. You sit down there and you think about your life for a minute.
Say one thing, you're not going to forget this.
There's a few decisions that you need to look over.
That's how Mike and I got fired.
Facts.
Trust me, I don't even know you. When did you start working here?
Oh, we could go dark with this. To Tennessee, where locals figured out the hard way the proper camping practices. A mother and her 3-year-old daughter suffered minor injuries while out camping with the rest of their family after a male black bear tried to break into their tent in search of food. Officials believe the bear had become accustomed to eating unnatural foods due to other campers over the years and unfortunately had to be euthanized as a result. Do not feed the animals.
Correct.
Move your food into a safe location.
If you're hiking, a bear bag.
Right.
That's known on the East Coast.
This is not...
If you're glamping, the food goes in the car. Doesn't matter if it's dog food, chewing gum, everything.
Right. It's not the bear's fault. It's
now the bear's dead.
Good work. That's if your headline for that. Mike Hawkins out.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. More Men's Room up next with the Men's Room Happy Hour exclusively on the Odyssey app.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, we be all about this biz for 180 seconds or so. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Visit Lowe's and take on the Pro Brand Challenge with the new Flex Stacked Lithium battery. More power, longer battery life, and faster charging. Plus, it's compatible with all Flex 24-volt power tools. Right now, the more Flex 24-volt tools you buy, the more you'll save. Get up to $150 off today. Stop by or visit us online and see Flex, exclusively at Lowe's. Valid 5/19 through 7/6. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusive versus National Home Centers for Flex 24-volt. U.S. only.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.